Welcome to The Walk-In, a podcast where doors stay open and stories unfold one conversation at a time. Hosted by Christopher Michael Sean, author, poet, actor, and lifelong student of people and purpose. Here, you're more than just a listener. You're part of the room, part of the story. In every episode, someone sits down, breathes deep, and shares what drives them, what keeps them moving, and what keeps them dreaming. This is a space for dreamers, doers, and those still finding their way. So pull up a chair, pour something warm, and let's take a walk into the soul.
Now recording. We love Craig. Craig's great.
Recording.
I wish there was.
The fact that I have my voice going to sounding like Megatron a little bit.
Is he still here? Do you still see Craig? Craig's still here, right?
Yeah, I still see him.
Okay, I minimized him out so that he's not on display, so it's just us two.
Gotcha. I still see him
Nice.
on my end. Yeah.
So this is my first experiment with TikTok Live. Usually, whenever I go live on a record a podcast episode, I'm not live on TikTok at the same time. I'm usually just prioritizing just recording the episode. So this is gonna be very interesting. You are my experiment, sir.
Well, oh damn! Hold on, wait a minute. We ain't in college.
Oh, wait, not like that.
I know. I'm just. It's a thing with me,
Oh.
man. Anytime I'm with friends and we talking to them, hey, I sometimes will try to get them to laugh in a way.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I know. Like I was saying before we recorded, like I really I hate that I lost the recording we did last time, and it's on. I'm sure it's on my phone somewhere. I just cannot find it for the life of me.
Yeah,
It's
no,
basically
it's somewhere in the files.
it's
It's
in the
hiding.
file somewhere, man. Because
Yeah.
when we recorded, I was down there in September, and
Yep.
we were recording, and it was on my phone. I remember I had this set up with this microphone, everything, and then
Yep.
whenever I came back here, I was trying to transfer the file from my phone to here, and I realized I didn't even have it. But
Yeah.
like I said, a lot has changed since then. How I record has changed. I use Craigbot now. I use Audacity now. I don't use Streamlabs anymore. So my
Hey.
whole
Yeah.
system setup is different, which is nice because it's a lot easier.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah,
Oh. Oh yeah. Also, some I forgot to mention. So here, like within the past, I want to say like couple, or I should say, few months, I've actually been doing something with trying to figure out smart ways into becoming a voice actor, and I've actually joined calls on Zoom with voice actors. Let's see, the last one I did, it was Liz and Brady Hales.
okay.
And then the one before that was Joe. I don't know how to say the last name. It's spelled Zieja. I don't know how to say his last name.
Uh, Zia probably.
I think so. Zia. Yeah, Joe Zia.
Yeah, because usually whenever names are spelled like that, I'm assuming the J is probably silent. So it's probably Zogia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Zia. Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
And then
so go ahead.
sorry. And
No,
then
you're good.
the first one I did was actually a voiceover workshop with voice actor Erica Wade.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that one actually went pretty well. Um, here's the funniest thing that happened in there. So it came to a part of her little thing where she had like a few scripts set up to where anybody who wanted to read them could volunteer to read one, and then they got to choose which script they wanted to read. Well,
Mm,
all of us that volunteered, myself included, chose the one where it's basically advertising a new car. And as soon as I stepped to the microphone and I read the script, after I got done with the first reading, I went to the comments section and somebody in there said, after hearing the first word introducing, he was like, I already got my credit card out right now.
mm, mm. Give
And man,
me give me your best introducing line. Go ahead and say introducing.
all right, introducing Oh, let me
Hmm.
do that again. Introducing. How'd that sound?
Why? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
TikTok, like I said, this is all an experiment. And TikTok Live just said, we've detected that you're inactive. How am I inactive? First of all, thank you for adding that weird ass sound to my podcast. That's that's embedded in my files now. So thank you, TikTok, because there's no way I'm about to edit out Terrence's voice because his beautiful voice while he's doing this introducing line. What a time for TikTok to be like, hello, darling, would you like to hear these random chimes while your friend is talking? Because we don't
Right.
leave the show here. I'm
Right.
sorry. To my knowledge, we're moving and talking, so I don't know what your deal is.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Anyways, no, that
But
was
yeah,
really
no.
good. I think
Thank
the
you.
best I have would be like introducing, like I don't know, something like that.
Hey,
My
that's
voice
that's a
isn't.
I'll go ahead.
I'll say my voice isn't as deep as yours, so like I have to go like introducing, or like introducing. Like,
You know, when you go into that tone right there, it sounds like you bring a bit of an English accent into the mix there.
oh yeah, that's true.
Which I mean, hey, here's the
Yeah.
thing. I'd say anytime I chat with somebody with an English accent, or whenever I watch Harry Potter, I could go from talking like this to, well, I would go to talking like this. Does that seem like I have a bit of an English accent, and sometimes it actually comes out pretty well.
Yeah,
Did
no,
that
it's
help?
not bad. No, it's not good.
Okay.
So I
It's,
know, I know you've been doing voice acting for a while. I know that's been a passion of yours for the longest, and um, we, like I said, we lost our last audio file, and I really want people to know you, not only to support you, but also because you have an amazing story. So if you could just kind of repeat a lot of the stuff you said back in September, like what happened, whatever you're comfortable with, what happened to you, and how you've used that as fuel. Because I know we had a great conversation last time, but I know that the people would love to hear your story because there's a lot of people that go through a lot of things and they believe they can't chase their dreams because, oh, well, what's the point? I'm in a rut. I have all this against me. So why would I do anything for me? You know what I mean?
yes, yes. So, well, what had happened to me here about a few years ago is, well, I s- I became a bit ill. I was throwing up here and there on a day-to-day basis. Gotten It had gotten so bad that my mom felt it was best if I go to the ER, which I had to agree. It's like, yeah, let's go to the ER. And so we get to the ER and they run some tests on me. And well, come to find out, I actually have MS, multiple sclerosis. And it was definitely a shock to me. Because, I mean, I have somebody in my family, and I have an aunt who has MS, but she has been doing very well with it. But me, I didn't know how I was going to be able to deal with it. But so, well, I went to see a neurologist, and he's a nice guy. He told me, you know, what they were going to do to help me deal with this. And so they said that he told me that I would be getting an injection of a medicine called Ocrevus, which is basically a new medicinal formula that was created to help people with MS, basically basically to help them, not be incapacitated in a way. And the medicine has definitely helped, but not only did I get the medicine, but I also went to physical therapy for a little bit, to do some exercises to help get me back to being mobile. And it definitely helped because now I have been taking day to day, or I should say daily walks around my neighborhood.
Hmm.
And I'm glad that I'm able to get back to this. I'm also still able to dance because hey, before my condition, I loved dancing. I loved it. So I'm basically in a way using it as fuel to not bring me down, but just so, you know, I'm using it as fuel in a way to remind me that, hey, I'm not always going to be in a rut. I will get back to living my life, regardless of whether or not I have a condition or not.
Yeah.
I will get back to living my life, and well, this is some good news. Here's the thing. My mom had actually gotten me some medication to help deal with me throwing up, my stomach acid and everything. And I will say that the over-the-counter medication she got me, it definitely has helped because, well, I actually have not thrown up here in quite a while. And I'm gonna go ahead and knock on some wood just to keep it going. But yeah, no, you know, it was like a curveball thrown, but hey, you know what? I'm trying to make the best of it. I really am. And so I'm just trying to find ways into like actually becoming a voice actor. And I'm not I'm going to keep pushing towards that because for the longest time after I graduated high school, even when I was in high school, I didn't know exactly what it was that I wanted to do. And now I have some admirations, well, I should say some aspirations of not only being a DJ, but also becoming a voice actor. Because, hey, the art of voice acting, it's a lot more challenging than some people may think. Because
Hmm.
you got to have the right mindset. You also have to have the right attitude. And in some cases, you also have to have the right kind of voice for some roles. But either way, hey, I'm doing I'm doing what I can do and what I'm able to do to not let this MS take over my life and shut me down.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Like I said in our last recording, that got lost to the void. Like I really am proud of you. Like whenever that happened, I remember we were talking about it and how it really did like affect you in such a major way. And I honestly don't even know how you built yourself back up from that. I think it's incredible that you managed to. I've been very gifted with my health. And I know, let me knock on wood, because there's going to be one of these days where, oh, hey, suddenly Chris has this illness or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm really blessed that I've been able to be healthy. And I'm over here drinking a monster. So that shows you that eventually, yeah, it's going to catch up to me. I know. Mm. My lack of sleep and my excessive monster drinking will one of these days punch me in the gut quite literally. But for now, we grind away. Um,
I mean, hey,
and
if that don't punch you in the gut and you need somebody to actually do that, I will do it for you.
I
Boom!
I've
I'm
been
playing. I'm playing.
no, no, no. I've been limiting myself. I used to drink a lot of Monster, and I've been limiting myself to like one a day. And it's this caffeine free, sugar free, fucking 10 calorie. But it's okay. You know what I mean? Like it's better than the shit that I used to drink. I'm getting better with it. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest hurdle for me right now is like I still do battle with like how do I stay motivated? How do I stay encouraged? How do I keep pushing on? But it's like every single day, I get up and I look at what I've done and I celebrate my wins, even if they're small, even if they seem inconvenient. I celebrate my wins and I look at myself in the mirror, I say something nice about myself, and I think, okay, what can I what can I change today? What can I fix today? Because the thing is, and this is a mentality that is something that I've always been working on is can you do something about it? No, then why worry? Can you do something about it? Yes, then why worry? And I think it's a really, really powerful mentality when you can go, okay, there's a lot that I wish I could fix. I wish I could change. I wish I could do something about, but I can't. But I can keep moving forward and I can keep pushing towards my goals and my dreams. Um, Obviously, my biggest dream is to be an actor and stuff like that. I know that I just published a book this year, which was awesome. I celebrated that milestone. The podcast has been going well. I've been celebrating that milestone. And, I look at people like you with this incredible story, this very heartfelt story of like these challenges that you had, these hurdles that you had to overcome, and you're still pursuing your dreams. There's a lot of people that they deal with enough to just end up quitting. And they just end up giving up and they're just like, "You know what? I It's not worth it. I can't do this." So they end up quitting. And it's disheartening for a lot of people,
It
especially
is.
with medical stuff, you
Yes,
know?
it is. And sometimes it just takes that right kind of motivation in a way, whether it be from other people like friends or family, or like a mental motivation. Like for me, well, my motivation is the fact that other than my friends and family, I am just very thankful to God that He has helped me through this
Mhm.
and healed me in a way to where it's not fully affecting me.
Yeah, that's
Eh,
incredible.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, no. I know not a lot of people will, you know, bring God into the mix, but hey, He's the one. He's the
He's
one
the
that's,
one. He's the
he's,
goat.
yeah, He's the one who's been with me my whole life. And I'm still to this day thankful that He's with me. And
Yeah.
hey, I have people up there with Him who are looking down on me and hoping that I do make the most out of my life.
Oh yeah, your ancestors are chanting your name, bro. Every single time that you accomplish something, every time that you cross a finish line, every time you celebrate your wins, your ancestors are chanting your name, bro. And that's the biggest motivation. I think for you especially, but also for me, every single time that you need that motivation, just imagine in your head the sound of your chanting ancestors going, "Bro, you fucking got this. You're the goat." You know what I mean? They are chanting your fucking name. And the thing about success, and this is something that we were talking about in the episode I just finished recording with a guy named Michael, super cool guy, is that whenever we were chasing this success, our definition of success really is kind of it's up to us. It's how we want to define success. So like for me, I feel successful because I'm surrounded by friends. I have my family, I have the podcast and I have this community that I'm building with the Walk-In podcast. That is successful to me. I may, the podcast isn't paying my bills, but it doesn't need to. It's filling my soul up. I'm able to have these wonderful conversations with dreamers and creators from around the world, and it's just incredible. And whenever we hear these stories of people dealing with these medical conditions that really could tie you down, it could be bricks on your legs throwing you into the ocean, but instead it's actually propelling you. You're using it as a jetpack. And this ties into a mantra that I like to use that, whenever life throws you stones, you can take those stones and use them to build a cobblestone staircase towards your dreams, towards your success, towards your passion and your purpose. And it is a beautiful thing because whenever people look at you and they go, "Oh, well, you just had it all handed it to you. You were just lucky." You don't even have to say anything. You just look back at the cobblestone staircase that you built from the very stones that were thrown at you, and you just keep moving forward. And everyone's mountain is different. Everyone deals with different things. You're dealing with MS. Somebody else might be dealing with autism or anxiety or depression or body dysmorphia or whatever challenges, whatever hurdles they're dealing with. Everyone's mountain is different. Everyone's definition of success is different. Everyone's staircase is different, but we're all dreamers in this beautiful, crazy, loud world. And the beauty of it, and this is something that we also talked about in my last episode, was that with this spider web analogy, every spider web is different, right? You're pursuing voice acting, and you've got all of these different ways that you're pursuing it, all these different webs that all come into the same exact dream. For me, I use a different design. I have the podcast. I have my psychology that I'm going after for college. I've got all these different avenues that I'm using for my web, and it's the same dream, but it's just a different web. And then like Anthony, he's also pursuing voice acting. He has his coaching, he has his TikTok lives, he has his voice actor challenges, all these different things that he's using towards his same dream of voice acting. And that is honestly, I'm so happy that our community has such a large amount of voice actors because it really does show like it shows in the work. It shows that we have all these different spider webs, all these different staircases, all these different mountains, all for the same dream. You
Yeah.
don't need to follow a formula to chase your dream. You need to find your formula. You need to sit at the alchemy table and mix
Uh,
different
uh,
potions and
oh
find
yes.
your potion. Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. Because here's the thing: a lot of people think that you have to go through this or through that to get to where you want to be. And hey, sometimes yeah, that is necessary. But other times, if you're able to find an alternate route to getting where you want to be into doing what you want to do, by all means. If you want to traverse it, traverse it. Not everybody's route is going to be the same. Sometimes the routes that we go on, they could be just a straight path towards it. Other times it can be a bit curvy. You may come across some obstacles. But either way, once you get to that point, then hey, everything works out wonderfully in the end. In fact, you know what? While I'm here, you mind if I read off this script that I have pulled up on my phone?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So this is in a noir setting. Basically, I'm reading a script that a noir villain would say. There we go. So starts. It goes like this. Bravo, detective. You've solved a crime. Unlucky for you, you're just a little too late. What? You think I didn't account for this very scenario? I thought you better than that, detective. And here I thought you were my equal. Oh well, I suppose I always knew no one beats me at my game. And that's the end of the
Pretty good.
script.
That's pretty good. There was a script that I read one time. Um, I think it was one of the first voice acting challenges that I did. I have a voice acting TikTok specifically to do voice acting challenges, but I haven't posted much on it.
Yeah.
Um, I my like my the voice I usually use is like a like the the British accent, like so you thought that you could get away with it. You thought after everything you've done that I would forget the transgressions of which you brought upon yourself? No, darling. It's very difficult for someone like me to forget someone like you. Just something like that, just off the top of my head. But every time I do like a villain voice, that's what I think. I don't know why my brain goes British. That's just what I do.
It happens, man. It happens. I mean, because here's the thing. It's like with the things that we watched growing up, whether it be cartoons, animated movies, live action movies, sometimes when we watch those and if we like it, we will, we will recite the lines, to try to be like the characters in a way. And, some of us, like you and I, we will actually, attempt to see if we can get the voice down for that character. Like, for instance, for those of you watching right now, watching the podcast right now, if you've ever seen this classic cartoon, Ed, Ed and Eddie, there's a character in that show. One of the Eds in the show, he's just Ed,
Hmm.
and this one, he's not particularly smart. He's a bit behind, if you know. In fact, in one episode, he actually does say something on the lines of, he's like, "There it is. Yep, my brain stopped." Hey, that could be a lot of us nowadays sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Cause,
Yeah, I know.
cause here's the thing where some people of the older generation just won't get that. Some of the things that we watched as kids, whether it be cartoons, TV shows, movies, anything, they sometimes older generation, you know, don't see what we actually see when we watch those things growing up. Like in some of the things that I named off, that can also actually be motivation because, well, they actually bring in some moments into the shows and movies that some of us can actually relate to in real life.
Hmm.
And that can be used as fuel for us
Oh yeah.
in any kind of situation.
Hmm. Yeah, and no, and I agree. I agree. I think that really like the media, like this is something we talked about in my last episode with Michael as well. Is the media that we consume does kind of affect us, and I think as voice actors, we a lot of times will watch content and we kind of we ingest it, and so like the British that I classically do, I didn't know really where I got that accent. Hello there, my friends. It's a pleasure to see you again. I never knew until someone mentioned a really old show. God, what was his name? Thornberry, and it's a Thornberry character from way
Yeah,
back whenever I was
from
super little.
from the Wild Thornberries. I know exactly who you're talking about because
Big
sometimes in the show he would say that some things are just quite smashing.
Smashing, yes. And I never knew where I got this accent. And then I saw this character. Someone mentioned him one day, and I saw this character, and I was like, dude, I watched this guy as a kid. This is where I got that accent. Like it has to be. Like and so I was like, man, does that mean that like I'm not unique anymore? I'm just like some basic voice actor who copies. But no, I think my spinoff is very interesting. I do find it
Yeah.
funny that the name of the character that like whenever I play in role play games like D&D, I name the character Nigel Nicklebottom. I do find it very interesting because Nigel Thornberry, Nigel Nicklebottom,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
very similar.
I can just see that right now. Just Nigel Nicklebottom.
Hello there, my friends. It's a pleasure to see you. My name is Nigel Nicklebottom. At your service, connoisseur of the Queen's bathwater, and I do have a new product because of my limited supply of the Queen's bathwater. I also have the King's bathwater and the banished Prince's bathwater, if you're interested.
And
So,
see that right there, that was damn good. And I like how you just throw in you have each one of the royals bathwater. Like if that ain't no, hey, listen, we all have those moments where we see like a character from an animated show or an actual real life actress. We see them and we think in our minds like, oh my god, they are so beautiful. They are so fine. That some would think I will not hesitate to drink her bathwater.
wow, wow, wow.
Hey, listen, that ain't me. That's some other people,
That's
but that
crazy.
ain't me.
That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm down bad, but not that down bad. I ain't trying to
Whenever
drink
I
nobody's bathwater.
Whenever I play D&D, when I play Dungeons and Dragons and I play as Nigel Nicklebottom, I actually use the bathwater as like an attack. So I throw the bathwater on people and it causes acid damage. It's the
Oh man,
funniest shit.
that
It's the
that is
funniest
nice.
shit.
Speaking of acid, um, I'm in a D&D campaign session with a few friends of mine. One of them being the DM, and my character is a And the the session that we're doing, the campaign that we're going through is called The Curse of Stroud or Strahd, whichever one it is. And well, yeah, that this past session back on Saturday, me and one of the players, one of my friends, we were just walking about outside of a town, and we see this man. We think he's just fishing, but in actuality, he was tossing into the water a bag that actually had somebody in it.
Hmm.
And so, well, my friend, he has his character dive into the water to get the bag and whatever was in it, which actually kind of find out was actually a person. And well, my character, the man that threw the bag into the water, he had got into his rowboat, starts rowing away. Well, my character has a 50 movement speed, so He just dives into the water and is just in his boat in an instant. And my friend, who his character had dived into the water after the bag, he made a pretty good reference that I did not think of, and that is, well, if anybody has seen it, it is the early 2000s SpongeBob SquarePants movie that has Sir David Hasselhoff in the movie. And the way he's in the water, he starts off just paddling, but then cuts away, then cuts back, and he's just in the water, just not moving his arms or legs, just like a ski boat,
Oh my god.
just basically, yeah, skiing across the water, and that
I
caught
think
that
I
caught me
I love
off
that.
guard. That caught me off guard in a pretty good way. I was like, yo, I did not
Well,
expect that.
and that's the beautiful thing about D&D, right? First of all, it's powerful for storytelling and just random bullshit, but also you have these opportunities as a voice actor to really bring characters out. Like me, I'm DMing a session right now, but unfortunately, most of the party just kind of disappeared on us. So me and the two other party members are actually looking to join a group of D&D because right now it's like we're just kind of out there in the void. Like we were trying to play
Yeah,
last night, like nobody showed up. But
yeah,
yeah, no, and that's the great thing about D&D is you're able to really showcase your voices and your talents, and it's an amazing opportunity. I've had so much fun creating characters. Like I had a dwarf. It was I forget his name, but he owned a shop in Ethervale. He's like, "What are you doing? You're walking around like you own the place. Oh, what is that? You weird looking bard with a giant mustache. What's your name?" I was like, "Oh, Nigel Nicklebottom. Pleasure to meet you." There was a scene where he walks up to the castle gate, and the guards are like, "Halt there! What is your purpose in the city?" And Nigel's like, "Ahem, bitches and blow." And and the guard, it was a persuasion check, and Nigel, of course, succeeded because he's a bard. He's built for persuasion checks,
yeah.
so he fucking succeeded. And the guards were like, "You know what? You seem pretty cool. You're allowed in. But the rest of you, what's your reason for coming?" And so the rest of the party was like, "Nigel, are you gonna like vouch for us?" And Nigel's like, "Oh, I've never met these rapscallions a day in my life. I don't know. I have no idea who these people are, but thanks for letting me into the city." So
Wonderfully done, Sir Nigel. Wonderfully done.
yeah,
Oh man.
wonderfully done.
Oh man,
So
but yeah, no, the few times that I've actually played D&D, actually the first D&D session that I ever was a part of, I played a monk in that session as well. Except me, I was just there and I stayed silent during, like, I want to say about 95, 98% of the game any time, because I'm just sitting and I'm just watching and listening to see how this game was played, because I had never once played D&D growing up, so this is my first time. And well, I actually did pretty well with my monk in terms of like actions, because there was one session where a player, his character, he had come across a chest in a area we were in, and he went to open it, and well, he actually gets sprayed in the face with some kind of like poison in a way, and it paralyzed him to the point where some ghouls were about to uh they were about to feast on him, and a wall had actually come down to seal them in. So me and another player, we had gone to the wall, and this character uh breaks open a hole in the wall big enough for my character to slide in and do a spinning fire kick, which burnt all of the ghouls, took them all out, but also set the player's character on fire. And I rolled for it. I rolled decently, but not decently enough to where he wouldn't have gotten burned. But hey, the ghouls got taken out, so hey, that was a win anyway.
some of you may die, but that's a
The
sacrifice.
sacrifice I am willing to make.
Precisely. Precisely.
Oh, freaking yeah, freaking Lord Farquaad and Shrek. Oh man. But I'll tell you.
That's the way Nigel is. Nigel's very much so like, I'll watch the rest of you burn as long as I win. Thank you.
But then other times he'll be like Donkey from Shrek. We can stay up late, swap manly stars, and in the morning I'm making waffles.
I'll make Oh goodness.
Oh man. And for those that don't know, be ready because we will be getting I think it's the fifth one or the sixth one, but we will be getting another Shrek movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if it's gonna be any good though. I heard some interesting reviews. So
I mean, listen, it depends because here's the thing. Aside from the third Shrek movie, that's in the Shadow Realm. The Shrek movies have actually done pretty well. The first one was it definitely did well.
I don't know. I heard some really bad things about the design of the characters.
I get that. I've seen the designs, and I'm basically like, eh, it is what it is. Cause I'm not worried about the characters. I'm just worried about the content and the dialogue. Because in an animated movie like Shrek or anything like that, listen, sometimes there are some animated movies where we actually can relate to the characters or absolutely love the characters, regardless of their design or anything. And it's mainly to do with the dialogue, the lines, the words that come out of their mouths, because hey, they can actually help us in a way that we never thought would actually help us. Case in point, one of my first ever Disney movies that I ever watched when I was a kid was The Jungle Book.
hmm.
That movie, listen, that movie it is one of Disney's absolute best because of the story that it told. What with you have a little child, a little baby, and because of something that had happened to his parents, he was actually left in a basket that a Black Panther by the name of Bagheera finds and takes him to a pack of wolves. And you would think, in like regular setting, real life settings, baby, to a pack of wolves, the wolves are thinking, hey, meat, lunch, or dinner, whatever. But no, these wolves, they were genuinely docile and caring to where they took the man cub in and raised him as one of their own.
Wasn't it a pack of gorillas, not wolves?
No, no, it was a pack. At first, it was a pack of wolves.
Really?
Yes,
Hmm.
it was a pack of wolves, and well, they unfortunately they had to let they had to basically remove the man cub from their pack because well, there was this character by the name of Shere Khan, a tiger who hated man, and so if he was to at any given point see the man cub whose name is Mowgli, he would have straight up just been done away with him at like that. But thanks to Bagheera, who knew of a man village where he could take Mowgli to, he takes Mowgli on a bit of an adventure. Now, this adventure comes across, a pack of elephants, which, one of them Mowgli actually becomes friends with, and then Mowgli meets a bear by the name of Baloo, who that character is hands down the top favorite character in that movie because he he basically just lets people know that actually, listen, watch the movie that hey, at any given point, no matter the situation, he tells what he tells Mowgli is something that I remember myself, and that is sometimes all you gotta do is look for the bare necessities. And hey, you know what? That in any kind of way, actually, there are those of us that can get the message and actually relate to the message and actually keep that message in our minds. And that message has been in my mind from day one since I watched that movie. And it is a great, compelling story because Mowgli
Mhm.
also he comes across problems like a big old boat. I think he's a boa constrictor by the name of Ka. This snake, Ka just wanted to eat the man cub. But, there was one point where Shere Khan actually finds Ka, who had taken Mowgli into a tree. And, well, Ka goes down and, he talks to Shere Khan. And Shere Khan was wondering what it was that Ka had in his coils up in the tree. And Ka, this was pretty compelling. Ka actually protected the boy. Granted, he wanted him for himself, but he protected the boy from Shere Khan. Because he could tell that Shere Khan, he just wanted to kill the boy. But his, but in the end, Shere Khan does come across Mowgli, and he almost has him a few times. But in the end, the man cub got the best of him because Shere Khan, he hated two things: man and fire. And well, uh, as it in the setting to where this encounter happened, it was pretty dark, and well, it was about to get ready to storm, and a lightning flash comes down, strikes a tree, it catches fire, and a branch falls from the tree and it's on fire. Mowgli picks up the branch, runs over to Shere Khan, while Shere Khan is basically dealing with Baloo, and then Mowgli gets some help from some crows, from some birds that he had come across. They helped him by distracting Shere Khan to where Mowgli was able to tie the fire-lit branch with Shere Khan's tail. And then one of the birds tells Shere Khan to look behind him. Shere Khan looks, is shocked, and basically he had tried to put the fire out, but it wasn't coming out. So Shere Khan takes off with the fire-lit branch still tied to him. And well, Baloo, Bagheera and Mowgli had thought that Shere Khan had done away with Baloo, but Baloo was just knocked out. And when Bagheera and Mowgli were about to walk away, Baloo gets up and he tells Bagheera, "Hey, don't stop now, Baggy. You're doing great. There's more, lots more." And hey, with a great character like Baloo, you can't get rid of him like that. I'm sorry. He's a character that stays with you because hey, he's just that good of a character. Because while Bagheera, he's the more sound, intelligent side, trying to get things done for the better of everything. Baloo, he's that side that, likes to have fun, but at the same time is willing to jump in and help at any given moment,
Hmm.
whether it be psychologically or physically. Baloo was just an all-around great Disney character.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's movies like that that really, like, especially because they were kind of part of our childhood. They do develop a part of you. Like, you literally learn, like, the bare necessities. You learn that there's the things that you need, and there's the things that are necessary for life, and there's like why and it's like one of my favorites is Hakuna Matata, like no worries. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
everyone has that childhood movie that sparked something big in them, and I think that that's honestly, it's motivating. It's something that we carry with us. It's something that's like a part of us, and it's in our DNA, you
Oh yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's really powerful for voice actors as well, and because we're, as voice actors, we're essentially storytellers, and as we're creating, as we're moving and evolving in our work, in our careers, it really does show in what we ingested, what media did we ingest as kids, what stories did we allow to be a part of us, and it helps with like the things that we go through in life. We take these stories that we watched as kids, and they affect us in how we look at things that happen to us in the day to day. So like everything that happens to me, I can look at what's happened and what movies I saw as kids, the Hakuna Matata, the bare necessities, all these things, they affect how I deal with problems today, even if I don't even realize it. You know what I mean? So whenever you have challenges and hurdles, these older movies really do affect how we go about these hurdles. And yeah, like I said, I'm really proud of you, man. Like, you've been pursuing voice acting, you've been pushing for it, you've been crossing every single hurdle, and as we get older, as we're continuing in life, we're going to come across more hurdles and more challenges and harder things to surpass. But it's us working together and staying motivated and trying our best. That's what's going to really build towards our success as we continue to climb the mountain, as we continue to build our little spider web, as we continue to take every stone that life throws at us and build this beautiful staircase, and we define success in our own language. It really is all going to come together. And I believe in you, and I'm praying for you every single day, man, and I'm proud of you. um, I don't think
Thank you.
I have a whole lot of time. I have another guy who's going to be coming in for an interview here in a bit, but we definitely should record again, talk some more. We're two
Oh,
wonderful storytellers with beautiful voices, so we can
oh
definitely talk
yes,
some more.
absolutely.
But
And but
mm,
just to let you know here, actually, that person Erica Dawn that I mentioned earlier,
mm,
she actually will be doing another and these things that I've been a part of with voice over work and everything, they were actually free. So yeah, she'll be doing another intro to voiceover workshop. That's what it's called. She'll be doing another one on the 29th of this month, and it's on Thursday.
mm.
And the time of that is from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, so your time, which would be 6 to 8 my time.
And it's on what day again?
It's on Thursday, January 29th. And if you
January 29th?
Yep, and it's on the
Next
site.
year?
No, this year.
It's past January, bro.
Oh, damn. Oh, right, it is. I'm tripping. Okay. Oh, wait. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the over. I was looking at the overhead header. No, actually, this one is the one that I'm looking at. The one that I actually, need to fill out, sign myself up is actually this week on the 19th.
Oh, the
Yeah,
19th.
at the same times.
I
So
think
yeah.
I'm free on I think I'm actually free on the 19th. I think I have one podcast to record and then I'm free.
All
So,
right then. Well, yeah, get on eventbrite.com and look up Erica Wade.
mm,
The intro to voiceover workshop. Just type in that, and it should bring it up. And hey, you should be able to reserve a spot, which I'm going to need to do
mm,
that myself. And she actually has a few more after the 19th. She's going to have another one on the 26th of this month,
mm.
and then she's going to have one on the 2nd of next month in April.
Mm. Okay.
Yes, and they're all free.
Nice. Well, we'll have to check it out definitely. And we can definitely talk more on the 19th, if you want to hit me up. So,
Will definitely hit you up, and
yeah.
I will try to. Well, I'm gonna figure out a way to send that website to you on Snapchat, and then hey, we can all then you and I both can be a part of that.
Yeah. Before we end it, is there anything you want to say to anybody out there that might be listening, maybe dealing with something like MS and they're trying to accomplish their own dreams?
Yes, while while diseases like MS or any kind of cancer or any disease that you may be going through, hey, listen, I understand it's rough, but here's the thing: as long as you get the right medical help, the right help will help you come out of that in a way to where you're able to continue living your lives. So don't worry about what any kind of illness or even what anybody has to say to you. Don't let none of that get you down because here's the thing. All of that right there that I mentioned, that's darkness. And here's the thing that you must keep in mind, never ever let darkness win. Because the minute you let that darkness win, it will take you down mentally and at times also physically. Because there have been a lot of people, famous people, in fact, they have let that darkness deep into their minds to where they just decide to take their
Hmm.
lives. Perfect
Yeah.
example. Robin Williams. R.I.P. to that man.
Uh,
Another,
I wanted to
another.
meet Robin whenever I was a kid.
You say what?
I wanted to meet Robin Williams when I was a kid. He was one of my heroes.
Oh,
Yeah.
same dude. Cause Robin Williams. I'm sorry, but him as the genie in Aladdin, fantastic. He was absolutely great. Oh, but hang on. There's one other one that unfortunately took his life because of what he had actually put himself through just for a particular role in the movie, and that was, well,
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, the man who played the Joker in one of Christian Bale's Batman movies, where everybody remembers this scene. Well, if you've seen the movie, everybody remembers it. Enough from the clown. Ah, ta, 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 ta. Let's not blow this out of proportion. You think you can just walk in here and take what you want? Yeah. But because there's actually a couple moments in that movie where Heath Ledger's Joker, the things that he says, especially when he's being interrogated by Batman, he actually speaks out some truth that we can actually put to real life in quite a few situations.
Hey there, this is friend of the show, Anthony Ziello, and I just wanted to say thanks for stepping into the walk-in today. If this episode spoke to you, go ahead and follow the show, and catch us every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can find the walk-in on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you listen. And if you want to hang with our community, come join the Discord. We'd love to have you there. A huge shout out to the Podmatch community for having us with them. Their support for Dreamers is unmatched. Until next time, take a breath, stay inspired, and as always, we'll walk together again next week.